Welcome back to part 11 of the indefinite integration series. Today we are going to deal with two exercises. Firstly, let's take up the first exercise, but before the first exercise we will have to learn three new formulas. So here are the three formulae. They're pretty lengthy, but they're not that complicated. They look complicated, but they're very easy to learn. If you see the first one, integration of root of a square minus x square is x by 2 root of a square minus x square plus a square by 2 sine inverse of x by a. The second one, integration of root of x square plus a square is x by 2 root of x square plus a square plus a square by 2 log of x plus root of x square plus a square. Third one, integration of root of x square minus a square is x by 2 root of x square minus a square minus a square by 2 log of x plus root of x square minus a square plus c. Now they're lengthy, but they're very easy to learn. If you see the first part, there are two parts to the formula. The first part, all of them have x by 2 and root of the LHS, whatever the LHS is, you've written it over here. So x by 2, if there is an integration root of a square minus x square, there is root of a square minus x square. If there is an integration root of x square plus a square, there is a root of x square plus a square there. So the first half is very easy to remember. In the second half, there is a square by 2 everywhere, and what you see after a square by 2, there is sine inverse of x by a, there is log of x plus root of x square plus a square, there is log of x plus root of x square minus a square. These are the formulas that we learned before the 10th exercise. They are basically the formulas for the reciprocals of these. So integration of 1 upon root of a square minus x square, remember you have learned this in the past, it is sine inverse of x by a. 1 upon root of x square plus a square is log of x plus root of x square plus a square, and 1 upon root of x square minus a square is log of x plus root of x square minus a square. So these three are actually, or the things that are written after a square by 2 are basically the formulas of the reciprocals of these. Okay, so let's see the proof for each of these. The proofs are important. So let's look at the first one, integration of root of a square minus x square. Now the proofs, remember, generally we pick up whatever we've learned in the previous exercise, the methods or the rules or the ways of solving sums that we've learned in the previous exercise. So we've learned UV rule or integration by parts in the previous video. So we'll apply UV rule to prove these formulae. So integration of root of a square minus x square is also written as root of a square minus x square into 1, and we call this 1, so that eventually we can replace this integration of root of a square minus x square by I when it comes on the right hand side. So let's apply the UV rule. So it is root of a square minus x square into integration of 1. So we've considered this root of a square minus x square as u and 1 as v, minus integration of bracket integration of 1 into derivative of root of a square minus x square. So let's do that quickly. Integration of 1 is x, so I've written that here, minus integration of 1 is x into derivative of root of a square minus x square is 1 upon 2 root a square minus x square into derivative of a square minus x square is minus 2x. So 2 got cancelled, you got minus x square over here. There is a minus outside, remember. Let's introduce a square, but when I introduce a square I will subtract a square. Why am I doing that? So that I get at least a term a square minus x square in the numerator, which happens to be under the root in the denominator. So now when we split this up across the minus sign, this a square minus x square upon root of a square minus x square will become root of a square minus x square in the numerator. Minus and minus has become plus a square, and this side now you have 1 upon root of a square minus x square. Now I had told you earlier right at the beginning that this integration of root of a square minus x square will become I, and so I will now write it as I. Also, you know that 1 upon root of a square minus x square, the formula for that is sine inverse of x by a. We've learned this before we started the 10th exercise. So that is sine inverse of x by a over here. This minus I goes there, becomes 2i, and then you transfer this 2 down, so you get this x by 2 root of a square minus x square plus a square by 2 sine inverse of x by a plus c. Now the next two proofs will be pretty similar to what we've done here. So again, integration of root of x square plus a square into 1 is what we start off with, and then we consider the 1 as v and root of x square plus a square as u. So that will be root of x square plus a square into integration of 1 is x minus integration of 1 is x into derivative of root of x square plus a square is 1 upon 2 root x square plus a square into derivative of x square plus a square is 2x. 2 got cancelled, you got a x square here. Now I'm going to add a square and I'm going to subtract a square in the numerator, and then I'm going to split this up across the minus sign. Meanwhile, this x root x square plus a square is not touched, and there is a minus sign outside as well. So let's see that. Let's see the completion of that. So you got x plus x into root of x square plus a square minus, you split up, so you got root of x square plus a square in the numerator, and then there was a minus and there was a minus inside as well. So that minus and that minus has become plus. You got a square into integration of 1 upon root of x square plus a square, and now it's pretty simple. This integration of root of x square plus a square will become I, which will go there and become 2i. Meanwhile, this integration of 1 upon root of x square plus a square is log of x plus root of x square plus a square, and then you just bring this 2 down and you get x by 2 root of x square plus a square plus a square by 2 log of x plus root of x square plus a square plus c. The third proof, like I said, again pretty similar. This is u, this is v. So you get x root of x square minus a square minus x into 1 upon 2 root x square minus a square into 2x. Again 2 got cancelled. Now you have x square. So you subtract a square and you add a square, and then you split this root of x square minus a square across this plus sign. But remember, there's a minus sign outside, so it will run in and make both minus. So this minus integration of root of x square minus a square will become I. This minus and this plus has become minus a square into integration of 1 upon root of x square minus a square, and that you know is log of x plus root of x square minus a square. Minus I goes there, becomes 2i. You bring the 2 down, you get x by 2 root of x square minus a square minus a square by 2 log of x plus root of x square minus a square. This is the only formula which has a minus in between. If you see the earlier two formulas, there was plus in between. So you can say that wherever there is a minus with the a, you have a minus a square by 2. X square plus a square, there is a plus with a square minus x square, again there is a plus with a. This is the only form where there is a minus sign with a square, and that's why you will remember it that way, that there is a minus a square by 2 in only this formula and no other. The other two have a plus a square by 2. Now we are going to deal with two types of sums in the next sums that we do. The type is if you have integration of root of ax square plus bx plus c. So if you have integration of root of a quadratic equation, or if you have a linear expression px plus q and into root of quadratic expression ax square plus bx plus c. Let us see. This is a very simple exercise. We have done these kind of sums earlier in exercise 5 as well as in exercise 10, where we have completed squares. So we are going to precisely do that over here as well. Let's see the first problem. We have integration of root of 4x square minus 5. So 4x square is written as 2x whole squared minus, and 5 is written as root 5 whole squared. So this is your 1 upon x square minus 1 upon root of x square minus a square formula, which is this one, the third proof that we just did. What is that? That is x by 2 root of x square minus a square by 2 log of x plus root of x square minus a square. So it's already in that form, so we can just simply start applying the formula. So 2x is going to come in place of x because it's not x, it is 2x. So 2x upon 2 root of this square minus this square, which is precisely 4x square minus 5. Then I told you there will be a minus, so minus a square, so a is root 5, so root 5 square upon 2 into log of 2x, because you don't have x, you have 2x now. So log of 2x plus and root of this square minus this square, which is precisely 4x square minus 5. The whole answer though is divided by 2 outside because you had a 2x. So you have to divide by coefficient of x, so you have divided by 2. So what will that do? This 2 and 2 got cancelled inside, but then because of this 1 by 2 there will be a x by 2 here, root of 4x square minus 5, and that 1 by 2 will also multiply here and make it root 5 square, you know, is 5, and this 2 into this 2 will become 4, so minus 5 by 4 and log of 2x plus root of 4x square minus 5 plus c. That is the first question. Now let's come to the second question. Here we have integration of root of 3 plus 2x minus x square. So it's a quadratic equation. Let us complete squares. So let us first make the coefficient of x square positive 1. So let's take a negative sign common between 2x and minus x square. So we've taken a minus common, you got x square minus 2x. Now completing of squares, half of minus 2 is minus 1 square is 1. So you need to add 1 and subtract 1. When you introduce a plus 1 in the bracket, there is a minus sign outside, which means we will have to add 1 to the 3 outside, because this is effectively minus 1. So 3 plus 1 has become 4, which is 2 square minus, and this is your perfect square x minus 1 whole squared. So this now is your first formula, root of a square minus x square. Just that in place of x, now you have x minus 1. So what will be the formula? It will be x minus 1 upon 2 root of this square minus this square, which is effectively 3 plus 2x minus x square, plus a square, so that's 2 square, so that's 4 by 2. 2 and 4 will cancel and give you a 2, sine inverse of x minus 1 upon 2, x by a. Yeah, so x minus 1 upon 2 plus c. That is simple. Now let's come to question number 3. You have integration of sine x into root of cos square x plus 2 cos x plus 2 dx. We want a quadratic equation, not a trigonometric expression in here to complete squares. So first of all, because there is sine x outside, we'll put cos x as t, sine x dx will become negative dt, and so this with a minus sign outside, root of t square minus 2t plus 2 with the sine x dx becoming minus dt, so there's dt here and a minus sign outside. So minus sign kept inside, we'll complete squares, so we'll just split up the 2 as 1 plus 1. That's quite easy because half of minus 2 is minus 1 square is 1. So you had to add 1 and subtract 1, or you just split the 2 as 1 plus 1. So this is t minus 1 whole squared plus 1 square. And now this is your second formula, integration root of x square plus a square. So minus sign outside, t minus 1 upon 2 root of t square minus 2t plus 2. This expression is placed in place of t minus 1 whole squared plus 1 squared, plus a square by 2, so that's plus 1 square by 2, so that's plus 1 by 2 log of t minus 1 plus you have root of t minus 1 whole squared plus 1 square, which is precisely t square minus 2t plus 2 plus c. Then we simply have to resubstitute cos x in place of t everywhere, and that is what we do in the last step. Let's come to the fourth question now. You have x plus 2 into root of x square plus 2x minus 3. So we have now come to this particular type where you have a px plus q outside and a root of ax square plus bx plus c. Now you have to simply precisely just get the derivative of the term inside the root over here outside. So you know you want to get a 2x plus 2. So let's first multiply and divide by 2. So there's a half outside, this becomes 2x plus 4. Now in order to make this 2x plus 2, we'll write it as 2x plus 2 plus 2. The 4 is split up as 2 plus 2. And then we'll multiply this root inside across this plus sign. So you will have root of x square plus 2x minus 3 into 2x plus 2 dx. Remember there's a half outside, so this half will be here as well as here. So half and into this 2 root of x square plus 2x minus 3 ahead. So in the first part we'll put x square plus 2x minus 3 equal to t, because 2x plus 2 dx becomes dt. Whereas in the second part we'll complete squares. So half of 2 is 1 and 1 square is 1. So you have to add 1 and subtract 1, or simply write minus 3 as 1 minus 4. So this here in the first part is 1 by 2 outside with a root t dt, and this we will form as a perfect square, x plus 1 whole squared minus 2 square in the next step. So let's do that. So you have half into t raised to half, your root t basically, integration of t raised to half plus integration of root of x plus 1 whole squared minus 2 square. So that is root of x square minus a square form. So you have half into, this is 2 by 3 t raised to 3 by 2 plus this is x plus 1 by 2 root of x square plus 2x minus 3 minus a square by 2, so that is 2 square by 2, 4 by 2, so again 2 got cancelled, you get a 2 in the numerator, log of mod x plus 1 plus, remember this x plus 1 whole squared minus 2 square is precisely root of x square plus 2x minus 3 on simplification, so you can replace that by that as well. And then we simply just replace t back everywhere basically by over here by x square plus 2x minus 3. So this is x square plus 2x minus 3 raised to 3 by 2 with a 1 by 3 outside. This is anyways a finished product. Let's come to the next part of this video. I'm going to teach you a new rule. What is the rule? The rule is integration of e raised to x into f of x plus f dash x dx is e raised to x into f of x plus c. So if you have an integration of e raised to x into an expression plus its derivative, then the answer to that is simply e raised to x into that expression, so e raised to x into f of x. When we take examples it will become more clearer. Now let us see the proof. It's a very simple proof. Let's take the LHS. You have e raised to x into f of x plus f dash of x. So we'll multiply this e raised to x inside. There are two integrations now created. The first is left as it is. The second one, we'll treat e raised to x as u, very different here, and f dash of x as v. So e raised to x into integration of f dash x minus integration of bracket integration of f dash of x into derivative of e raised to x. So what happens with that? E raised to x f of x integration as it is plus integration of f dash x is f of x, because derivative of f of x is f dash x. So integration f dash x will be f of x. So e raised to x into f of x is the first term here. Then minus integration of f dash x is f of x, and derivative of e raised to x is of course e raised to x. So you are going to cancel the first term, integration of e raised to x f of x minus integration of e raised to x f of x. They get cancelled, and what are you left with? You're left with e raised to x into f of x plus c, which is what your RHS is. Now let us see some problems based on this rule. So let's see the first problem. You have integration of e raised to x into x log x plus 1 the whole divided by x. So I'm just splitting this x across the plus sign. So you got log x plus 1 by x in the bracket. You very well know that the derivative of log x is 1 by x, which means your log x is f of x and your 1 by x is f dash of x. So it is precisely perfectly fitting into this rule. So what should be the answer? It should be e raised to x into f of x, right? So this will be e raised to x into log x plus c as the answer. So that is how simple it is. Let's see question number 2. You have x into e raised to x upon x plus 1 whole squared. Now I just keep this e raised to x aside and I add 1 and subtract 1 in the numerator. Now why do I do that? Because when I split it up across this minus sign, x plus 1 upon x plus 1 whole squared is 1 upon x plus 1 minus, and you have 1 upon x plus 1 whole squared. Now if you were to derivate 1 upon x plus 1, what do you get? You get minus 1 upon x plus 1 whole squared, which means this is f of x and this is f dash of x, and there is a e raised to x outside. So what is the answer? It is simply e raised to x into 1 upon x plus 1 plus c. Now let's come to question number 3. You have sine of log x plus cos of log x to be integrated. So let's first of all put log x equal to t. When I put log x equal to t, it also means that x is equal to e raised to t, which means dx is e raised to t dt. So what effect does that have on the sum? This becomes sine t, this becomes cos t. So there is a sine t plus cos t in the bracket, and into the dx becomes e raised to t dt. So you know very well that the derivative of sine t is cos t. So this is f of x, this is f dash x. There is a e raised to t outside. So it will be simply e raised to t into sine t, the answer, yeah, but we have to resubstitute. So e raised to t will get replaced by x, right, and t will get replaced by log x. So you will get sine of log x. So x into sine of log x plus c becomes your answer. Now let's come to this last problem. You have integration of e raised to tan inverse of x into bracket 1 plus x square upon 1 plus x square. Now I'm going to do one magic substitution. I'm going to put tan inverse of x equal to t, because 1 upon 1 plus x square dx will become dt. So this denominator 1 plus x square, that is actually 1 upon 1 plus x square into dx, that will become dt. So this entire denominator and dx will become dt. E raised to tan inverse of x will become e raised to t. Now what about x and x square? Remember, tan inverse of x is t, which means x will become tan t. So x and x square will get replaced by tan t and tan square t respectively. That's what I've done here. So e raised to t into 1 plus tan t plus tan square t is what you get, and you have a dt, because 1 upon 1 plus x square and dx has become dt. Now what is 1 plus tan square t? By the identity of trigonometry, it is sec square t. So you have e raised to t into tan t plus sec square t. You know the derivative of tan t is sec square t. So what should be your answer? You should get your answer as e raised to t into tan t. Now what is e raised to t? That is e raised to tan inverse of x. And what is tan t? Tan t is x. So you'll get x into e raised to tan inverse of x plus c. I hope these two types of sums were clear to you. I will soon meet you with the final exercise of indefinite integration very soon. See you until then.